Good morning and final good morning from the 2025 KLIM Dakar Rally Daily Show. I'm Jesse Ziegler.
And I'm Quinn Cody.
And you are rocking the team colors today. Look at you, team player.
We are, yeah. I had to run the KTM Factory, Red Bull Factory Racing.
Well, it's quite a day for Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, with Daniel Sanders dominating the Dakar Rally and winning over his nearest competitor by 8 minutes after leading every stage of the rally, winning 5 stages, and basically just kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, unbelievable performance by Daniel Sanders. We always knew he had the speed, right? He's a former overall 6 days winner.
Yeah.
And really dominated 6 days.
Yeah, right. Don't forget that, yeah.
Quite a few years ago now, but this is his 5th Dakar, and things are starting to come together for him, and he's really showed these guys how it's done this year.
Yeah, he's in a league of his own this year for sure, taking time when he needed it not to finish up front, and really playing the 48-hour chrono thing perfectly early that just set him up to not feel like he had to make moves. And some of these other guys, excuse me, they felt like they had to make a move this day or that day, and if it doesn't work out, just demoralizes you as he just keeps creeping away.
Yeah, and he moved every day. That was kind of his strategy, and I think having a good team around himself, and with Jordi Villadomes and the whole KTM crew, he was able to strategize and run a perfect race, and he has the speed to back it up.
Yeah, you can't just have a great team and great bike and all that stuff. You have to be the fastest guy. That really is what this boils down to. And he had to be the fastest guy so many days in so many sketchy situations that, that's really what boils down to. And that seems kind of dumb saying the fastest guy wins the race. But Dakar is complicated, and there's so many variables out there. There's times when you can't go as fast as you want to go, but Daniel seemed to pull it off every time. And honestly, this is KTM's 20th Dakar win.
Yep.
2-0. So that's pretty dominant.
Pretty amazing for the brand to think that they'd got 20 Dakars over the last 25 years or whatever.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And couldn't come at a better time for the company. The company is in turmoil internationally. They are in a cloud of, who knows what's going on. Us as journalists, we get limited information and that kind of stuff. And I'm sure you as an employee of KTM North America, you're probably in the dark just like everybody else. But man, this could really move some momentum in some right directions. But at least it's great for Daniel Sanders and the team, and Luciano Benavides and everybody else, in that pit. They're chugging Red Bull today and having a good day.
Yeah, this is huge for the rally team. There's KTM has been in a difficult situation recently. And there was some questions of whether the rally team was even going to continue through this Dakar this year. Yeah. And back in September, there was still questions of budget and whatnot. And then,
it's crazy.
We had a really big discussion when they were here for their last test in November, and it was like, hey guys, we have to be as tight as possible and leave no questions, make sure everything is as tight and as perfect as possible. Even the riders have to do their best to save money, make pennies. And so the riders were really even feeling these budget constraints and stuff like this. And they really had to do this Dakar on basically a skeleton crew compared to what they'd been doing in the past. So I feel like they almost came in as an underdog this year. We talked about how strong Honda was. Yeah. And just completely dominated this rally.
Yeah. Don't forget last year, KTM frankly got their butt kicked. I mean, Honda dominated it. Ricky controlled the race similar to how Daniel did this year. He didn't lead the whole race every day, but he was clearly in control of the overall time for much of the rally last year. And Honda was just surrounding him with all the support. And it was like, these guys are unbeatable. And coming in this year, KTM developed a new bike in the last 12 months, like quite literally less than 12 months.
Less than 12 months.
Probably 10 months of full development from starting to build a new frame. And they came here with a stacked Honda team again, who was doing fine. Yeah, there were a few injuries there lingering, but so did the KTM team. The KTM team had a massive injury with Kevin Benavides. Daniel was healthy. Luciano was not healthy either. And not to mention they had half as many team members this year on bikes to rely on, because they don't have a gas and a Husqvarna team. So it looked like it could have been a grim year if the new bike didn't work out, if not having all your teammates there didn't work out. If having this added pressure as a racer, your job is to race, about this company BS going on in the background, also forced on you. You got to perform with less stuff. We got to make it happen. And they just stepped up. It was pretty impressive, like massively impressive.
Yeah, really. I mean, their back was against the wall this time, and they came out and took care of business. And I mean, you can't say enough about this team and what they've done in the last really 9 months to develop this bike. And I've been part of some of the durability testing, and just watching how hard they worked and what they accomplished is really incredible. I feel like that at KTM, like, the development never stops, right? I've already been getting emails about development for this year and what we're working on and stuff like this. The rally's not even over yet, and there's guys in Austria that are already working for next year.
These guys are motivated. I think getting beat last year really pissed them off, like a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, KTM doesn't like to lose. There's not,
Nobody likes to lose. That's for sure. And KTM takes that particularly. I think Honda's probably in that position today. I think they're probably looking around, being like, this is now the time where we focus to get back to the dominant form we were last year. And they were close. Like, they got 3 out of the top 5 spots. So second place, Tosha Schareina, he ended up, making that gap pretty close. 8 minutes to win the Dakar is, a controlled victory for Daniel. It's a significant victory, but still not a blowout. Tosha really came on after having an injury that he kept under wraps, and the whole Honda team kept everything under wraps. There was not a single excuse out of anybody's mouth out there. And we know Ricky Brabeck's in a massive amount of pain. I don't know what's happened with Skyler, but he hasn't been moving to the front like he was before. Remember, his ankle was dislocated last fall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, these guys are battling hard. Yep. And, to get 2 out of the top 3 spots, Adrien Van Beveren, he's only 14 minutes off the pace. Like, this is a pretty great result for Honda, too.
Yeah. And Tosha has run a really good race.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of promise from him in the future. He's still relatively new to rally. You have Adrien, who's quite a veteran towards the tail end of his career, and then you have Tosha coming on as a young guy. So I think we're going to see a lot from Tosha Schareina, because he was solid this year.
Yeah, really solid.
You expect more mistakes from a younger, less experienced guy, and he's really not making those mistakes this year.
Even riding above his maturity level by pulling up, resisting the urge to get his first stage win earlier in the race so that he can set himself up, more advantageous for the next day. Didn't really work out, but I mean, it's hard to pull off when you're, in your 20s to not get a stage win at Dakar, not to mention the bonus that comes with it, because these guys are getting paid bonuses for stage wins, for overall victories, for other different, things they can accomplish during the race. So he lifted to try to win the race, and that's pretty mature coming from a guy who's, hasn't even made it this far in the rally yet, and now he's second.
For sure. Yeah. Excellent job.
Yeah. Kevin Benavides, he's in fourth place.
Luciano Benavides.
Kevin Benavides is in here. Luciano Benavides, fourth place. That gap grew quite a bit towards the end of the rally, 22 minutes, 16 seconds back. Ricky Brabeck, our defending champ from last year, fifth place, 29.50. And I think Ricky's race comes down to, almost that 48-hour chrono stage where he pushed for the first half of that and made a big move and made up a bunch of time. And it just didn't work out because that day didn't really count. Like, it never came off the clock. It sets you up for your start position the next day, yada, yada. But that day where they raced 500 kilometers, or half of 2/3 of that 1,000K 2-day stage, I mean, he put in effort, wasted a bunch of energy, and the time never came off his clock because it wasn't counted until the next day. And it basically, kind of washed out to not really mean that much.
Right. But this is also how you go into it strategically, right? Yeah, you're pushing really hard on the first day of a 48-hour stage. Maybe you need to strategically be like, hey, maybe we need to just go easy the first part because we still have this second section that we have to race tomorrow. And he had smashed an exhaust pipe, a header pipe
on the second day.
So he struggled with having enough power to run with the guys in front. So I mean, these things, you never know exactly how it's going to play out, right?
Sure.
But maybe looking to the future, he'll approach those chronos or cryo stages different.
Yeah, and I can pretend I'm super smart, sit here after
Yeah.
12 days.
It's easy to
12
look
stages
back on it.
and 53 hours of racing and be like, this is where the difference was made. But when you're in the heat of the battle, every day matters. Every part of the desert is dangerous. And, you know, these guys are pushing for literally 53 hours. I didn't work 53 hours in the last week. These guys raced 53 hours in 2 weeks and
I mean, it's
covered a bunch of country.
It's incredible any of them are even here, first of all, at the
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
racing for 53 hours at the speeds and the risks that they're taking and to come through that unscathed and make it to the finish is an incredible feat. And I mean, let's face it, a lot of people didn't make it anywhere near.
No, the attrition rate is about 34%. So we started with 130 some racers, 45-ish have withdrawn, and that's the most updated information we have.
Yep.
That's not a lot of
Roughly, 65% finisher rate.
yeah.
So
It's
that's
not high.
it's not a lot.
It's not high. Not high. That's for sure. Skyler, the other Honda American, 6th place. So most of the Hondas in the top 10, except for Pablo, who crashed out, of course. Skyler's 42 minutes back. Nacho got that hero in the top 10 in 7th place finish, 58 minutes off the pace. Edgar Canet, Rally 2 winner, rookie.
Yep.
Got a factory ride a couple weeks before the race started, and here he is, 8th place as a rookie. Let's talk about Edgar. He's quite the phenom.
Yeah, you can't say enough about Edgar Canet. He has just really run a absolutely perfect race for a rookie. It's really hard to come into your first Dakar and have to deal with all of this information that you're taking on, learning, you know, the GPS, the rules, the start procedures, everything. There's so many possibilities for making a huge mistake, and he's avoided all of them.
Yeah.
And made it clearly well within the top 10.
Yeah.
And just done an incredible job. So here's another one that we see has a massive future in rally at 19 years old.
And he's in the grips of that KTM team. Jordy did a good job of getting that to happen so that nobody else can get him from them to just support Daniel. And Daniel's in his prime. So having Daniel in his prime, Luciano being, you know, the warrior that stuck it out and will probably be there for a while. And then having this kid coming in to like push the program up higher is going to be pretty powerful in the next year or two.
That's what you have to do to really develop a team. And I don't know that we've seen a guy this young ever finish this far up in the Dakar. I mean, not in my memory anyway have I ever seen a 19-year-old finish inside the top 10. So that's something we maybe can look at. But
yeah, that's impressive. And winning the Rally 2 class, good accomplishment. Tobias Ebster right behind him. He is not a rookie for sure. He raced in the Mali Moto class on his own, but privateer. So he's not on a factory race team. He's got the second tier, or at least working on his own a bunch more. Has to raise his own money to get there. That's the definition of a privateer. 9th place overall. He's 2 hours out. So Edgar kind of blew up that R2 Rally 2 race later in the week. But Tobias held on to win the privateer race inside the race over Stefan Svitko, who's raced for, 16 Dakars in a row. Also, Svitko, 10th overall in the rally.
Yeah.
Right behind Tobias Ebster. So amazing.
How old is Svitko now? We need to look into the statistics because
he's probably our age.
Yeah. I hope he's. If he's as old as I am, I don't know. He's doing a really good job.
Mid to late 40s.
I don't think I'm.
You're not.
I don't think I got a top 10 in me anymore.
I don't. I couldn't even ride in a truck here and make it both of the weeks without a lot of injuries.
Yeah, what a badass.
Yeah, so your top 10 overall, Svitko's really bookending that with just like, I don't know, someone that people can really look up to, that they're trying to race this race and just be like, man, this guy's still out there doing it. He's on his own team and he's really just putting in the effort. Pretty cool. And he got a minute of bonus time, so he was up front.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is cool. Should we hear from some of these guys after their celebrations? Might as well. Let's stop talking about the race. Let's hear what they think about the race.
Sounds great.
This race, it's massive. It's when I came over the dune, I think I don't know, 57. I could see the bivouac, and then I just got instant chills through the whole body. So I was super nervous and was yeah, couldn't believe it. I just started all the emotions started coming through, and yeah, you can see the finish line. So it was it's the biggest race in the world for motorbikes and off-road. So to win the 6-day international enduro and then now the Dakar, it's just ticked off all the goals for my career and everything I've wanted to achieve. So it's a massive accomplishment, and yeah, the team and my family and friends and girlfriend, everyone who's seen me all the lows and highs along the way. It's finally all paid off. They knew I could do it, and everyone who's backed me along the way, even after the last 3 years of a lot of lows really, and then now we've got the ups. So it's all the hard work's paid off.
Where and when did you think you get the win to make the difference?
I just knew I had to start off during the week. The first week was important, and every day's important. You couldn't have an easy day. It was always attack when you could. So yeah, I just made sure I didn't make any big mistakes. And since Morocco, I felt really good with the bike and navigation and everything. I've done all the years of navigating, so now it's just working together with that and making sure I tick it all off.
Yesterday was a bit tricky. So what was it to start?
It was a little tricky, but it was really soft sand dunes. We didn't think they were going to be this soft. We'd come a long way, 500 k's, and then a new terrain, so we didn't know what the weather was doing. So it was super soft, but we had a big gap in the lead, and we just managed that. And we knew we were pretty safe, and then we just had to get through the next 2 days. So work hard early on in the race, and then you could have a couple of little easier days and no pressure.
Next step?
Oh, I don't know yet. We'll see what happens, but we'll be back here trying to defend it, and we've still got the World Championship to continue. So, yeah, we don't stop here. We keep going and set the next goal and go for that.
This race.
That's all you got to say.
Yeah, not much more to say about that. He's, I mean, I've said it over and over again. He's really run a perfect race this year, and
he's had big injuries the previous 3 years prior.
Yes, he's had a tough go at rally so far. And I mean, I said it when he first came in that he was by a long ways the fastest guy in the rally. He has this incredible talent, and he's really fast in the sand. He seems like he rides a gear higher than everyone else all the time. Yeah. And he's just he has this ability to carry so much more speed. And you saw it when he won 6 days, on a 500. So
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy is really a special person, mm-hmm. the way he rides, and he does stuff that other guys don't even think about doing.
Yeah. Paid off. Here's Tosha Schareina at the finish line after his second place overall.
Tosha, just a few words in English, please. How was it to finish on the podium after what happened last year, especially?
Super happy to be finally here in the finish line. It was really, really hard. The more veterans has told me that it was softest ever edition. So super happy to be here in the finish line. So happy for me and for the team, for everybody to take this second place. We had for sure a lot of problems, but I think like everybody, and happy and hungry for more.
So what did you miss to catch?
Sorry?
What did you miss to catch Danny, in your opinion? Where you lost the win, or where you?
I don't know. I don't know. For sure, I'm super happy for Daniel. He has done an incredible job, incredible 2 weeks. I think that 10 minutes more or less they take in the first days, and he could control the race from the first days. But yeah, for sure, super happy for them. Super happy for the Orange family too. And yeah.
That's it. Controlled the race, but he's relieved the race is over after a couple fairly spectacular crashes.
Yeah, he's soldiered through, and again with sounds like what's possibly a broken collarbone, and he's made it to the finish right in second overall, which is his incredible job. Right. And we all saw that massive crash he had, with a broken collarbone prior to that, so that couldn't have felt good.
Yuck.
And then he's been finishing up in the front. So clearly he's managing it, and man, I see big things from him in the future. I think he's probably a future rally winner.
Yeah.
Just, things need to go his way.
For sure. Here's Adrien Van Beveren, who all knows about being in this race. I don't know how many races Adrian's done. It's got to be 11.
Yeah, he's
Got to be
been
more
around
than, more than Ricky.
quite a while.
He was there before Ricky was, and Ricky's done 10. So here's Adrien Van Beveren, the Honda veteran.
Yeah, it was an amazing Dakar. The most difficult I had. I thought last year was the most difficult, but this was again more difficult. We did good. I pushed all the way. I have no regrets at all. I did this amazing race. I'm really happy. And you know, to finish the Dakar is a victory, and to be on the podium is even more. For sure, I want to reach the top step, but I'm proud of my race.
Yeah, should be proud of your race, AVB. You did, you know, you got up there and you battled with these fast young kids and that Daniel Sanders guy that's been threatening for the win. And I also got to give a shout out to Quinn. He brought donuts in today.
Yes, donuts.
And I'm eating
celebration
donuts in
for
between.
our
We deserve
for
it.
our last day.
We deserve the donuts.
Yes, we do.
This is our treat.
But
Yeah, Adrien.
toughest Dakar for Adrien Van Beveren.
That says a lot because he's been to plenty of them. He was in, you know, South America, back here to Saudi Arabia, and that first week, everybody keeps saying it. He just beat the crap out of him. Wouldn't know it by Daniel Sanders, but yeah.
Yep.
Here's Edgar. You know, the phenom, the new blood in the water. Let's see what he has to say about his race today.
Yeah, the best moment is when I finish the prologue. I think is when I know I'm inside the Dakar and making a good result. So super happy with that. Super happy with the rhythm I have in this race with the P8 in the overall. That's fucking crazy for me. And yeah, keep working, and I know what to improve. So I'm happy with that.
What do you need to improve? You know?
I don't know. Let's see. I need to make it first.
And fighting with Red GP was something to make you proud?
Yeah, of course. When you arrive to one race and you can stay in the front the first year, and you can see if like you can be one of the riders can fight in front, this is an amazing feeling, and I'm feeling really good for keep working and arrive more ready for next year.
Championship, you will fight for it?
If it's possible, yes. Thank you.
It's possible. You can fight for the championship. I got a feeling. Yeah, well, he's confident and already learning about what he's going to do in the future, and that's dangerous news for everybody else.
Yeah, this kid is really promising for the future, and he fits really well into that KTM team.
Yeah,
he brings, I think, a lot of energy, and it's kind of a morale booster for the team. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think everybody there is really happy with Edgar, and you know we have a happy Sanders. So I think the team morale has changed a lot since last year. That's a huge part of it, is right. You have to be able to rally the team together, all the mechanics, the support personnel, everyone. If everyone is you know bummed out and the riders are always angry, and then
frustration,
the mechanics get mad, and the suspension guys frustrated, and everything, and it just doesn't help anything, right?
Yeah.
So Kindergartner talked about it. Like you have to be able to motivate your team to make things better and improve, constant improvement and everything else. So this is a really good addition to the KTM squad.
It's going to be interesting how the Tosha growth goes in the Honda camp. Edgar goes in the KTM camp.
Yeah,
Where are some of these new kids going to land? This is silly season, right?
We're going to have a
silly season starts now.
Silly season this year, and we may have to do a silly season show this year because there's a lot of moving parts this year.
And for people that don't know, if you're just kind of getting into this and understanding the World Rally Championship Series, it's a series that starts at Dakar, but contracts end at Dakar.
Yep.
So most factory rally contracts are decided, hey, we're going to race this year, you're going to race Dakar, then we renegotiate after the Dakar Rally. But that's in the middle, or right at the start of the World Championship season. So it's totally unique in sports. There's no other sport that says, hey, after the first week, we're going to start re-signing people.
We're going to start. After the first round of the championship, we're going to start signing you guys.
Yeah, it'd be like the NFL saying, hey, once we get to the playoffs, that's when we sign all our contracts for people that are going to play the rest of the season. And that's unique to this because Dakar is the king race. It's the only one that matters to most of these factories. But I do give credit, and we've given credit to the FIM in the past for creating a real series that all the OEMs are chasing now. You know, they're covering different countries, and you know they're trying to build it up so it's not just one race. It's a bunch of other races too, but Dakar's the one that matters. Contracts, there's empty seats and new kids. And
I mean, yeah, we have older guys aging out that are probably not going to do another Dakar. We have young kids coming up like Brad Cox, Edgar Canet. I don't know if Edgar's signed completely or what.
Yeah.
You know, there's some questions on the budget side for KTM. How many riders they're going to run, what races they're going to do. Honda, the same thing. You know, we don't really know. Honda's a big ship, and they run a long-term strategy, so we don't know where they are on their rally planning.
Right.
I mean, we've seen them leave motorsport before for 10 years and then come back, and so yeah, there's a lot of questions. We have Hero. We don't know if anybody new's coming in, but we have these Chinese brands, Cove, coming in. It seems like some of these Chinese brands clearly have some budget.
Yeah.
So we might see some riders starting to shift in that direction. And, it's going to be an interesting silly season.
Yeah, it was great to see another Chinese company, Hodo, come in and, struggle, but persevere and get to the end of the race and, have some respectful times. Also, Fantic, performed their best ever race this year. Sandra Gomez, the only female in this competitor, finished in the top 50s, 43rd.
I believe so.
Yeah, 43rd she finished. So great for Fantic, which if you don't know what Fantic is, it's basically sort of rebranded Yamaha product. It's a WR chassis if you look at it, or WR motor inside their own rally chassis. Fantic also makes and distributes off-road motorcycles that look a lot like Yamahas all over the country. All over the world, not in the United States, but in a bunch of other countries. So pretty cool to see. And yeah, silly seasons among us. I love it. Another shout out we got to give today. I want to give anyway. I don't know what you want to do, but Brock Heger, who American youngster riding in the side-by-side class for Polaris Factory Racing Team, won the race overall. Beating last year's champion, his teammate, Xavier Desiltres, on the French squad, but on the same team. So Heger and Max Eddy, both, American boys out there riding their Polaris RZR around the desert. Also, Brock's birthday today. So what a cool way to celebrate your birthday.
All right.
So here's a quote from Brock on his birthday, winning the Dakar Rally. And I don't think it gets better than that. I think, Brock, you can quit racing and you've reached the highest rally goal ever, winning Dakar on your birthday.
Yeah, today's my birthday, so I figured I needed to treat myself to a good birthday present. So we are, a Dakar champion, and it's pretty crazy to think about it. I'm sure it hasn't sunk in the most yet, but I'm sure on my plane ride back to the U.S., it's going to sink in, and it's a pretty cool accomplishment. It was a crazy 2 weeks. My co-driver Max Eddy absolutely crushed it in the right seat, and it's been a super fun venture. My Polaris RZR has been flawless the entire rally. The Sebastian Loeb Racing guys, all the guys that have been working on it, they've been crushing it on the car. So just super excited about everything. We were pretty much near the podium every single day, so it was a super cool experience.
I was just going to ask Max. Max, I was going to say, how was the experience for you, and how do you think this rookie did? He did all right?
He's obviously probably the best driver I could ask for out here, and just super smooth, and never no arguments in the car. We had a good day together, and still sleeping in the same bunkhouse as after day 13, and Brock's an amazing driver, as you could, his accomplishments in the U.S. and stuff, and looking forward to just getting back to the U.S. and thanking everyone at Polaris RZR and BF Goodrich Tires and Frey Media and everyone that helped get us here. And
you may have, it's an experience of a lifetime, but you're looking forward to American one-day racing again?
I mean, it's Dakar's once a year, so it's a once-in-a-year thing. You get to come do it. I was super thankful to be able to come and compete this year, and hopefully I can come back in the future. And me and Max is a driver of himself, which he's an incredible driver as well. So we're pretty much flying back to the U.S. and then have about maybe a week of hanging out, and we're going to go compete against each other. So looking forward to getting home, looking forward for Max to get back in the driver's seat, since I'm sure he'd rather be there than riding along with me. But overall, it was something I'll probably never forget.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Didn't know we were going to get a Max Eddy interview at the same time, so that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. Really proud of you over there for representing in the in the side by sides.
Great job. And there was actually a big shakeup in the overall yesterday. Xavier Desultre had a big failure in the dunes on stage 11.
Had to withdraw, right?
He didn't withdraw, but he was pretty far back in the overall. I think they gave him a massive penalty and to get out of the dunes. So ended up second overall, went to Chaleco Lopez.
Nice.
Chilean driver, former bike guy.
Yeah, bike guy in a car.
Podium finisher at the Dakar also. I raced against Chaleco back in the day, so he's been around a while.
Yeah, he's old.
And so anything can happen, right? You go all the way down to stage 11 and you're running second and
boom. Great race. I think those guys might be out at King of the Hammers next weekend. Can you imagine?
Yeah, maybe.
Or some other West Coast side-by-side race happening. Other notable things, a Saudi winner in the ultimate class. So big dog T1 trucks, they used to call them, or whatever they used to call them. Now they're called ultimate. These are the top financed Toyota and other brands. And Yazid Raji, I'm saying that so wrong, and he's like Saudi royalty, so I'm going to get some bad comments on YouTube probably, but this guy raced a hell of a race against veterans in the class, including Sebastian Loeb, Nasser Al-Attiyah, people that have stage wins, Carlos Sainz, and massive amounts of victories. And he got the win on home soil, which is kind of epic, like more than epic.
Yeah, he's definitely a Saudi hero at this point.
Let's hear from him. He's got a quote on here, and I'd love to hear from his race and how happy he is to win at home.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How is it to win at home?
Sure, I am very, very happy to do it. It's not easy race and the toughest one. I do it in the last 11 years. And sure, I am very happy. Me and Timo and my team do great job like always and support us. And sure, we make a lot of record today. First Saudi driver. And also in the last 25 years, not any private team can beat factory. And we do it this time. And the third one, never any Dakar event is any winner from same country where the Dakar, and this first time Saudi guys win in Saudi Dakar. I'm sure I am very happy.
What was the most important moment of the race? When do you think you start to think about the win?
Sure, I am from start. I make a plan and I tell Timo we need to not attack from start. The race is very long. Need to make nice strategy, clever one, see what's going on, see everybody where his position. And finally we do it very, very well. That's most important.
Lettegan was a strong fighter.
Sure, he's a strong fighter and he's a top driver and he have very good experience and very fast. And also me, I have good experience and good speed, and we can fight against him or against anybody. And sure, we can do it, both of us.
2 days ago, yesterday, you gave everything to catch back because Lettegan was first again.
Yes. And today, take it easy, slow, not need to push, and we do it well.
Pretty awesome story there.
Yeah, that's very cool. And his 10th Dakar on a basically privately funded Overdrive Toyota team.
Yeah.
Great job.
Great job.
Hank Latkin, South African, second, and then another Toyota.
Yeah. There's a lot of OEM kind of battles in here. It's fun to watch.
We have this heavily funded Ford Raptor team. First year for this new Ford Raptor concept vehicle, and Matthias Ekstrom finished third.
Yeah,
got it on the podium. It sounds like they had some trouble with Carlos Sainz. I think that maybe Mitch Guthrie and Kellen had a few problems out there. So again, first year of I think a multi-year program for the Ford team. So I think after this kind of learning year, they're going to really be upfront pushing.
Yeah. Not the last year we're going to see Ford M Sport up here battling at the Dakar Rally. That's cool. I hope we got to get Kellen on the phone.
Yeah. So yeah, Mitch Guthrie and Kellen Walsh finished fifth in the Ford Raptor, and Seth Quintero was ninth in the Toyota.
Sweet. Yeah. So great job for the Americans. You know, they've really graduated themselves up from these Challenger and SSV classes, these smaller buggies, and into the side-by-sides, which are very serious competitive machines. The side-by-sides are now. And then they get, you know, their way up through this Red Bull Junior, you know, racing rally team. And it's just awesome to see it happen, and it's really supporting the sport. Sweet. Thanks for the donuts, Quinn.
Yeah, you got it. All right. Hey, we didn't talk about our stage winner today in the bike category.
Oh,
we should go back and give.
No, we didn't. I'm eating a donut instead.
Yeah, well, we've done enough of this talking stuff. So. But Michael Dockery,
what a legend,
won the stage today.
What a legend!
Second stage win of the rally,
dude. How about South Africa stepping up here for us,
crushing it,
dude? Second stage win of the rally. Gives KTM another stage win, which, man, they sure had plenty. How many did they have today? They had 9 out of 13 stages. KTM won.
Yep.
Thanks to him. He won 2 of them. And today was sort of a blitzy start off into the softest sand dunes. And,
yeah,
man, he likes the sand, right?
Again, yeah, if you weren't following yesterday, this was a mass start stage. So it was in reverse order based on the general classifications, which means that the top 15 riders started in a big motocross style mass start, and they blitzed their way to the front, and it was basically just a parade for the general classification contenders. But it looks like some guys went out and tried to fight for position, and Doherty got a stage win.
Yeah. Including Adrien Van Beveren must have been fighting for the stage win. He's only 3 seconds behind the stage winner.
Maybe he wanted a little bonus, get a little extra bonus money. He hasn't won a stage this year.
AVB's like, I'm getting this. Get out of my way, kids.
Yep. Couldn't quite pull it off.
3-second gap. That's got to be painful to feel today. And then Tobias Ebster, you know, the privateer, 3rd place today on the stage, which is pretty epic for him. I think that's his best stage finish.
I think it may be, yes.
Cool. The rest of the normal crowd is right there behind them. Tosha Schareina got 4th. Stefan Svitko 5th. Daniel Sanders played it safe, 6th place today. Luciano Benavides in 7th place. Romain Dumontier, he's on that Honda HRC squad. He's 8th. Rui Concalves. Good to see these Sherco guys up in the top 10 consistently and getting a stage win this year. I love having another OEM major player out there. It's great for the sport. Mixes it up. Has more people got to think about more teams. It's good for race strategy and all that kind of fun stuff. And Ricky Brabeck got 10th today. So, great race by Ricky. He had to control things, probably internally more than he's leading on about his pain and, that kind of stuff. And he did push. He put some efforts in to try to control this race, and it just didn't work out for him as the cards fell.
Yeah, tough dude. And he went really hard that first few days. Like those guys were really battling it out. And we thought it was going to be this crazy 3-way battle between Ricky, Ross, and Daniel. And
it was.
Daniel ended up separating himself, but man, I mean, they were warriors that first week.
Yeah, Ross is I'm sorry, I'm eating a donut.
That's right. Hey, I looked it up. Stefan Svitko is 43 years old.
Damn,
turns 44 in June.
Damn.
So he's a little younger than us, but he's knocking off top 10s and a top 10 stage finish today.
Let that be an inspiration to you guys trying to go to Dakar. Svitko.
There we
go.
The
people's champ. He's the people's champ today. Jake Argabright was up at front in the standings. We talked about some more Americans today. He was leading again on that provisional ranking. If you watch it sort of live, you can see him. They'll start saying, "Oh, Argabright leads the way, 30 seconds ahead of the rest of the field at this waypoint." Yada yada yada. And then it seems like he slowed down again. I think he got lost.
Well, I think Jake wasn't on the back row with the top guys.
He was in one of the
he was in one of the further forward rows. And so what happens is they click the waypoint first, but then the big boys are still coming from behind.
Gotcha, yeah.
And so once those guys click that waypoint off, then
you get shuffled down.
So he probably didn't get lost in a stage like this. I think he still had 75 bikes in front of him to lay
Can't get lost out there, probably.
Yeah, but
I could get lost out there. I could.
Yeah, Jesse could definitely get lost.
Yeah, I have a bad sense of direction, even with a map and a compass heading. So it was cool to see him up there. His old teammate on the Dust team, Conrad Dabrowski. We talked to him yesterday. He was pretty frustrated with the results from yesterday and all that decision making, but he's had a great race. Notable Niels Therick on the Cove, top finishing Cove rider. I think he finished in 15th place overall.
Yeah, I mean,
which is pretty epic. After replacing a motor, we've talked about Cove's durability struggles this year, but that's pretty fantastic finish for him on a factory effort by Cove. And respect to them for coming out and supporting it so much. But really solid ride by Niels.
Yeah, it shows a lot of promise for the brand and Niels. I'd never really heard of him before, and he's come up and knocked off a top 15 overall. It was a really incredible job.
Very, very cool. Should we get into the original by Motul guys soon?
We need to talk about the originals,
because that was a tight race and a really fun race to watch.
Yes, that was a very close one. So, Janice and Benji Malo were basically 1 minute apart yesterday, coming into the final stage after
exactly a minute apart yesterday.
57 hours of racing
and working on their own bikes and staring each other down. I just envision them like working on their bike and like looking up over their seat, like he's only a minute away from me after 50 hours.
And they're 20th and 21st overall.
That's
working
awesome.
on their own bikes, and this is the real race right here.
Yeah, those boys are crushing it.
Not to take anything away from Jake Augebright, but
yeah, for sure.
Jake got beat by 2 Moto guys. Sorry, Jake. I think maybe you should try Moto next year and see.
Dude, he'd be
see
good
how
at
it goes.
that. Yeah,
he'd probably be really good at that.
He's gritty and tough enough to make that happen. So Emmanuel and Benjamin 1-2. They ended up gapping out a little bit today. Emmanuel ended up taking the win. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. So he gained a couple minutes today.
Yeah. I heard that Benji missed a waypoint possibly and had to go back for it or something like this.
And a little turnaround.
Sometimes when you're in that mass start formation and you're just following tracks, you're not following your road book, and you miss you blow by a waypoint and have to go back and get it. So
for sure.
But honestly, I think they're buddies, and I don't think it was going to be a fight to the,
not a violent fight to the finish.
Knockdown, drag out, brawl to the finish line.
I think you're in a brotherhood if you're in this original by Motul class and you're just like relying on everybody to kind of like, well, we got to do it again. Come on, get up, pack your sleeping bag and put your tent away. Let's go do it again. Shout out to Javi Vega, who we've talked to the last 2 years on the show. He ended up finishing 6th. He's also on a Cove this year, so it's cool to see that pop up. And, everybody in that class, if you're out here racing this race, good for you. And I think we had 10 finishers in that class. Pretty epic.
That's epic, for sure.
That does not seem easy.
No, I have this kind of dream and nightmare at the same time of doing the original class someday, but
you should.
I don't know.
I'll come be your emotional support person that stares at you and watches you do stuff. I don't think
you want anyone around you when you're doing that.
That's why I want to be there. I want to annoy you. Be like, are you sure you're doing that right? Did you tighten that?
We could do the podcast at the end of the day after I change my oil.
You'd be real pleasant to be around, I'm sure. That Rally 2 gap, that was 32 minutes, 33 minutes at the end of the race. Edgar Canet over Tobias. I'm just checking some other results here to kind of see what else. I mean, Niels, Derek, talking about Rally 2, finished 6th overall in the Rally 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty rad. He keeps popping up. And, that's sort of,
that's about it.
That's sort of our rally show. That's sort of the Dakar Rally Daily show. That's kind of it.
So this is it for the year. I mean, I get to try to sleep in tomorrow.
I'm just going to show up at your house and be like, hey, what are we doing today?
Yeah. I mean, I've been waking up at 4:30 with no alarm every day anyway. Like I'm on the program after doing this for a couple weeks straight.
We're past the alarm stuff. Shout out to KLIM. Thank you so much. KLIM's our title sponsor. Has been since day one of this show. We got 100 episodes down now. This is our 101st episode. We're very thankful for them to keep it rolling. Go check out KLIM Motorcycle on all the social media channels and YouTube. They make some really cool stuff. Also some great content, despite great product. Rally Navigator, Baja Rally, they're our presenting sponsors. They're top tier companies that we respect in the industry. Rally Navigator makes this possible for you to go navigate rallies. You can go do it on your own. You don't have to enter a race. But if you do want to enter a race, enter the Baja Rally. That's the one that's coming up in the fall. So you got some time to prepare. You can also enter like the NORRA Mexican 1000 and the Sonora Rally to prepare for that rally. So you might as well just spend your summer in Mexico racing rallies. Am I right?
No, you're not wrong.
It's the first time you've ever said that. Congratulations. I made it.
I won't say you're right. But.
High Desert Adventures. I had lunch with Ace yesterday from High Desert Adventures. He's about to go on his Tecate to Cabo tour. But if you're going to miss that, check out his packages for Sonora Rally, for NORRA Mexican 1000. He can help you out there. And Baja Rally especially, he's got some specials going on now where you can fly and ride. You don't even need a bike. You just show up, Ace will take care of you. So that's cool. And call Taco Moto. And those are all my sponsors.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the other people helping us out. There's lots of them.
There's lots of them. Our wives have done a really good job surviving this.
They have.
Thing, getting up and getting kids ready for school every morning.
Yeah. I've had
without us around.
I had grandma come into town.
Sometimes my wife tells me that life is a little easier when I'm out of town, but
I agree. It's easier for me when you're out of town too.
And we need to thank a special thanks to Ashley House, who's our man on the ground in the bivouac.
100%.
He's done a great job for us, getting us some incredible interviews and voice recordings and stuff like that. So without him, we really wouldn't have had such a great season this year.
Right. Definitely.
So thanks to Ashley, and he's got a care package coming from us when he gets home. So
yeah, thank you, Ashley, so much. Thank you also to everybody that called in and checked in, all the racers especially, for taking time out of your epic event to give us a chat. We talked to Heinz Kindergartner this year, Brad Cox. We talked to Johnny Campbell a couple times, Jordy Villadomes.
Yeah. So without all these guys, I mean, this is such a great community of rally folks and people that take care of us. So without all these guys, we really wouldn't have much of a show. Yeah. So thanks to everyone who's stepped up to help out.
And you never know, we might do another one. There's a bunch of races coming up.
Yeah, we talk about this every year. Like, should we do other rallies?
I don't know.
Should we do a silly season show?
We should do a silly season show. Yeah. You guys let us know what you want to hear. We got comments. Comments are open.
We're usually so sick of each other by the time this is over that we don't normally talk until like December.
Yeah, when we decide to do this again.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Yeah, we'll be out there trying to make some stuff happen. We got bad ideas coming up. Okay, thank you again, everybody, for listening. We're gonna get back to work, our real jobs.
Over and out.